How many of you know that Twitter posts, if you don't opt out of it, are geotagged? People know that? So when I looked at it today, right before I came in here, there's probably a good 50 people in here in this conference right now that within the last hour had shared some post on Twitter that was geotagged, letting me know they were here. Geotagging is going to become critical to Twitter's future and their growth. Same thing with Facebook, and that's why Facebook made the comment about going mobile. It's based around location. So where is geolocation headed? You could have put 100 things up here. I took out a lot based on this conference. I wanted to just hit some highlights of where I think it's going. Virtual assistant is number one. What does that mean? All the data that's out there right now with all of our social networks and things that we do, wouldn't it be great that when we go to a place, number one, that we haven't been, that our phone passively tells us like what we want to do? Like, I'm from the island of Kauai, and when people come home and visit me, I would want their phone to tell them where are the places that they like to eat at without them having to search. Where are the things that they like to do without them having to go to a concierge at a hotel and get what the normal tourists do? But our phone should tell us that. And so ultimately the goal is having this assistant in our pocket that we go places and we don't have to search. We eliminate search completely. Brands connecting with consumers. So we've seen this with apps like Foursquare and other location-based applications trying to connect the place of business, the establishment, with people that are going in and getting a daily deal, whether it's through a coupon, through loyalty rewards, etc. Celebrities mobilizing fan bases. So celebrities use social media a lot now, especially Twitter. But one thing it's hard for them to do is it's hard for them to mobilize their fan bases off of them. So in talking with a lot of the celebrities and how we can do this, it's become evident that people based on location, based on geofencing, is going to be a big part of the future of celebrities and events. Think about a concert, think about a comedian on a tour, think about a sports athlete going to sign autographs somewhere. How do they mobilize people to show up? Well, what if you, going back to this virtual assistant, what if you're a big fan of NASCAR or a big fan of the band Linkin Park or Enrique Iglesias, but you're here at this conference and you're busy, right? You're all here learning stuff, meeting people in the industry. But what if down the street right now, your favorite band was playing, your favorite comedian was playing, but you didn't have any knowledge? Wouldn't you like your phone to alert you that that was happening? And so that's what we mean by celebrities mobilizing their fan bases, that they can put themselves somewhere in the future and say, I'm going to be here in 3 days. So we just did this with Blondie, and we're getting ready to do it with 2 other bands this weekend, where we put them at a place. Hers was a Jay Leno show in Burbank, 3 days before that event, and people started discovering her before she was actually there, and the turnout was phenomenal. And the celebrity, Blondie in this case, the band, they brought people backstage. We've actually seen where location is being used by bands who are up on stage playing big concerts and getting live feedback from the audience, and they've changed their set list because of it. Right? Has anyone been to a concert lately and you've looked down and you see, instead of people using a cigarette lighter, people are now using the white light of their phone? People, when they go to a concert now, you'll be surprised, but I'd say 25 to 30% are head down in their phone during the concert. I just did a tour with a band called the Dropkick Murphys, and when we were on tour, as we'd stop, I would stay under the balconies at all the House of Blues, and I'd look down, and it was always a sea of white lights. And so that has told me these celebrities can engage their fans in real time, but it's based on location. Because you don't want someone if they're playing in San Diego, you don't want someone in Iowa telling them what to play. You want to know the people there that are feeling it at the moment, giving them suggestions. Opt-in versus opt-out. So this can be a bit of a controversial subject of opt-in and opt-out. But as we go into the future, I'm convinced that location is going to be opting out. You'll be opted in when you join a social network. The reason being is because of mass adoption and the information that it gives a social network is going to be so much more useful to them as we grow on. So today it's hard because you have to deal with issues like privacy issues, But as generations evolve, I'm convinced it'll be opt-out versus opt-in. Presence versus check-in. So for those of you who raised your hands that you checked in, the rest of you had heard of Foursquare but don't use it for whatever reason, there's going to be an idea of presence. What does presence mean? Presence means that you should be able to be somewhere like here right now and be able to connect with the people that are around us right now without you having to go and do anything, without you having to go and check in, because you're present. Present is you want to be discovered by people, whether it's your friends and you want privacy, you don't want anybody else to discover you, or you want anybody to discover you because you think that what you're sharing is relevant and you want people to engage with you. So that's going to be some of the bigger things that I think of geolocation is headed. I told you I wanted to save time to ask questions, so feel free. If those of you who, like I said, don't feel comfortable asking questions, email or send me something on Twitter and I'd be happy to answer them for you. Any questions? Okay, thanks very much. Oh, wait, one more.
Is Banjo organized around its app, or is it organized around the service?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, Banjo, so I didn't want to get into what we do specifically, but if we take all the social networks on a global level, we sit on top of them like a layer. So we consume all of Twitter in real time, anything that's shared Geo on Facebook and any Foursquare on a global basis, right? So not just here in the US, but anywhere in the world right now, you open up Banjo, even without you being a member, and you'll discover people right away. So it takes a lot of those things we talked about, we touched on today, about social networks in general. That's what Banjo's doing at a much broader level, meaning it's taking everything into account at once, not just posts, not just check-ins, but also like photos, etc. And then making it relevant based on context. Because at the end of the day, I don't really care if you are next to me if you have no relevance, right? If it has no relevance to me, it's not going to make my life any better or my business any better. So how do we make it contextually relevant?